My name is Andre. I was never a mountaineer, nor did I consider myself a thrill seeker. But one day I realized I had been living in the same rhythm for too long: work, home, the occasional meeting with friends. Inside, it felt like there was an emptiness I couldn't fill. That's when I decided I needed to go somewhere where nature doesn't just exist, but breathes, roars, lives, and can destroy everything around it in an instant. I chose a volcano. It seemed to me that if I could walk up to the very edge, hear the breath of the earth, and look down at boiling lava, I would finally understand, all my worries are nothing compared to the power hidden beneath the crust of our planet. My journey began in a small town at the foot of the mountain. The air was already thick and smelled of sulfur, though the volcano itself was hidden behind clouds. People there lived calmly, as if they had long grown used to living in the shadow of a giant. That evening, I stepped into a tiny tavern. An old man with heavy eyebrows sat at a table. He looked at me closely and said, "You're here for the volcano, aren't you?" I nodded. He smirked slightly and added, "Many go there. Not all return the same. Some are terrified, some inspired, and some, broken." His words stuck in my head. The next day I took the trail. At first, the path was easy: soft ground, greenery, small villages. The people I passed looked at me with curiosity. Some waved, some warned me to turn back, and a few shared old legends of fire spirits. It felt as if they knew I wasn't here just for a photograph. I was searching for something deeper. The higher I climbed, the harder it became. The land changed, the green disappeared, giving way to stone and ash. The air grew dry and heavy. Each breath burned with the sharp scent of sulfur. I stopped more and more often. My back ached from the pack, my legs trembled. At times I wanted to give up. "Why are you doing this?" whispered a voice inside me. But whenever I looked back and saw the endless plain below, I knew I couldn't return. On one rocky ledge I sat down to drink from my flask. Suddenly I heard a sound, faint, like a moan. I froze. The slope around me was empty, just stone and smoke, yet the sound came again. Maybe it was the wind echoing through cracks? Or maybe the volcano truly was alive, whispering to me. I remembered the old man's words, "Not all return the same." And for the first time I wondered, what kind of man would I be when I came back? By evening I reached a flat spot near the summit. I decided to camp there for the night. The sun sank, and the sky filled with stars. But the real sky was beneath me. Somewhere deep in the mountain's heart, the earth groaned. I could feel the vibration even in my skin. I sat by my small fire, listening to the crackling wood. My thoughts drifted. Faces of friends, conversations, petty grudges, all the things that had weighed on me suddenly seemed pointless. Next to the crater, they meant nothing. Man is so small, his worries so fragile compared to the endless force of the earth. At one point I felt I was being watched. A shadow flickered by the rocks, and my heart raced. I rose quickly, but there was nothing. Only the wind slid across the slope. Perhaps it was exhaustion, or perhaps the spirit of the volcano. I lay down, but my sleep was restless. I dreamed of flames, of hands reaching up from the lava to drag me down. When I woke in the middle of the night, I understood, these were only the shapes of my fears. But in the morning, I would have to face the crater itself. The final climb took several hours. The ground grew hot, stones burned my palms. The air was heavy, choking with sulfur. Each step felt like a battle. And then, I reached the edge. Before me opened a vast crater, clouds of steam rising from its depths. Far below, molten lava boiled, glowing red and orange. It moved and shimmered like a living creature. The roar was deafening. It was as if the earth itself was breathing. I stood frozen, unable to look away. It wasn't just beautiful, it was raw, terrifying, majestic. I thought, how many thousands of years has this volcano lived, breathed, erupted, destroyed, and created again? And my life, it is just a fleeting second compared to this. All my fears, all my doubts, were nothing. Yet instead of weakness, I felt strength. If the earth can hold fire for centuries without breaking, then surely a human can endure far more than he believes. Coming down was easier for my body, but inside, everything had changed. My steps felt lighter, but my mind was heavy with realization. I had touched something impossible to describe. When I returned to the town at the foot, the old man was still in the tavern. He looked at me carefully and nodded. "You've seen it," he said. "And now you are no longer the same." I smiled. Inside me was calm. Life would go on, with its worries, its doubts, its endless little problems. But now I carried a volcano within me. Its strength, its fire, its steady breath. And that would remain with me forever.